Well, I've described Hillsborough as one of the greatest injustices of the 20th century, and I think that will be confirmed by the panel tomorrow when it reports. And the reason I say that, it's not just that it's one of the largest ever peacetime tragedies, entirely man-made. It's that in the immediate aftermath of that tragedy, when 96 people lost their lives, an immediate campaign began to blame the victims and survivors. And that, for me, is what sets Hillsborough apart. There was a altering of police statements, malicious briefings to newspapers, and all of this was an attempt to shift blame off the police and place it on the supporters. Well, there have been many attempts down the years to get to the truth of Hillsborough, but many of them have not fulfilled that objective. And I think, I've said before, I think all of the political class needs to look at itself and say, why didn't we do more to help the Hillsborough families in their hour of need? Why did we allow these terrible lies to be told about this tragedy and not challenge them? And these are lies that have caused huge pain to the families, to the survivors, but also to a whole city that has lived with this for 23 years. So, I think we do have to ask those questions. Perhaps for a while, Hillsborough was in the too difficult pile. But coming into the 20th anniversary, I was clear that we would never bring any sense of resolution and reconciliation to Liverpool until the full truth was told. And that's why I made the call for disclosure and then set up the Hillsborough Independent Panel. Well, we were all impressed with the way David Cameron handled the response to the Bloody Sunday inquiry. And what we're saying is now we need to see the same leadership for Liverpool to help heal the deep wounds of Hillsborough, because there's a clear parallel. What happened was there was a deliberate attempt to cover up the truth and indeed blame the victims and survivors of this terrible tragedy. And ever since, the families have been fighting to clear the names of their loved ones, and that's what they've been struggling for these 23 years. And I think for those reasons, that's why it's right that the Prime Minister should speak for the country and apologise for the actions of state bodies, and also for the decision of the coroner to impose a 3:15 cut-off, because the terrible cruelty of that was, it means all these years later, families haven't been able to find out the details of how their loved ones died. Now, that's the denial of a basic human right, and for all of those reasons, I believe the call for a national apology should be heard.